Greetings, Alafia. Welcome, 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 Queen. Come on in. Greetings, everyone. Alafia. I am Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend, and I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. Today, we're going to talk Ifa and the Orisha. We're going to experience it. Let's go. Hello, everybody. How are you? I hope that you are well. This is a live recording, so I will be greeting the goddesses very, very soon. And yeah, today I just wanted to come in. I am in the midst of, for the first time ever, offering an open enrollment to get your Lekes with me. I've helped people get their Lekes before. I am an Iya to some people. And so I just have made a decision. It's time for me to do this work for myself instead of referring people to other people. And I love the Baba that I've sent people to. It's one of my besties, if not my bestie, in this tradition. But it's my time. It's my time to have the ladies sign up with me, go through this with me, and get your Lekes, get a good foundational start. And so today I am going to be talking about, or we're just going to experience. I want y'all to experience what it's like to be a part of this tradition. The Lekes, if you don't know what they are these necklaces, these beads, and each one represents an Orisha. The Orisha, a simple way of understanding the Orisha is they're the deities in this particular tradition, which is out of Nigeria. And we call them forces of nature. We look at them as, beings who have lived here, but they have become deified ancestors. And they have wisdom, they're in nature, and they support us, help us, guide us. So this is a very good way to get started in this tradition. There's a lot to learn. This tradition is thousands of years old. It's very, I call it decentralized. So there's a lot of things that's the same, no matter who is your teacher, what they're teaching you. There's a lot that's the same, and then there's going to be a lot that's different, and that's just the nature of being a part of a tradition that is from indigenous people who lived according to the land, and they just did things in their own way, right? So it's a very beautiful, I like to call it religion, because people are going to put respect on this tradition. I know people get kind of repulsed by religion because people have had bad experiences with it, but to me, it must be put on the same level so that those of us who are part of this tradition, this religion, have the same rights as everybody else. We have our holy days, we have our practices, we have our codes that we're living by, and they need to be honored. And I just feel like it brings more respect. And for me, it's all about the ancestors. Y'all hear me get attitude sometimes when I start talking. I'm trying to be nice and zen right now. But I don't like people poo-pooing on Africa. I just don't. And Africa is not perfect, but nobody's going to poo-poo on it. All right. It's not less than. It is the cradle of civilization. So there's a lot, though, that is important for you to understand, because it's not just about having the Lekes, even though it's pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. I love that I have my Lekes. I ain't gonna even lie. And I want you to feel the exact same way. Yes, I do. And I want you, for those who decide you want to get on this journey with me, I want you to have a good start, because Ifa is so decentralized. And you can get on and look at any number of websites to figure out, well, what does this mean? Or what does that mean? Or whatever. And sometimes it's just saying all kinds of different things about the same thing. That's not helpful. And my goal is to help you really understand what this tradition is about. And I will tell you, it's gonna you're gonna get my emphasis. And for me, foundations and Ifa, you get these elecades, you got to start in a certain way. And those are the kinds of things that I want to talk about a little bit today, because then that'll help you to understand what we're going to be focusing on inside of the initiatory process. And I just have to say this because if somebody's watching, somebody is going to put in the comments, there's no such thing as an Eleke initiation. Yes, there is, because I have one. Okay. Yes, there is. The way people do things in EFI is different. And I like calling this initiation because it is a beginning. And for most people, if you're working with me, you weren't raised up in this tradition. It is an initiation, it is a beginning. So that's not for new people. That's for the people who are going to be like, this is not a thing in Africa. Well, I'm not in Africa. I'm just not. But the Orisha have called me. And I am here to do the work that my Orisha have asked me to do. That's just, you're going to see me do things like that. And if you listen to a lot of people who talk in Ifa, you will hear them qualify after qualify, or Lukumi, Santeria, Candomblé. You're going to hear us doing a lot of qualifications because we know how this tradition, the people, not the tradition, the people in the tradition can be. And I'm going to prepare, if you go through this process with me, I'm going to prepare you for that, because I think a lot of people don't stick with this path because there's so much pushback on everything. And I'm not giving up my practice because people are pushing back on me, or, I'm not going to let myself be confused. I'm just not. And that's my part of my goal for you all. I do want to say, if you look in, it should be in the description box, but I'm going to drop this here in the comments. Also, oh, hello, Minister. How are you, Minister Ocean Kimmy? Minister Ocean Kimmy got her lattes with me. Hi, how are you, Vivi Embroidery Queen? Latanya, good morning. Good morning to Keita May. How are you, Queen? Good morning to Mystic Storm. Hey, Queen. How are you? We have the SAI ladies here, spiritual aspirant ladies. They went through that initiation with me. It's always so happy, makes me so happy to see you all here. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. So, yes. Oh, I'll just go on ahead, because then I can take care of this, and then we can begin to start doing other things. Um, I personally like my website that I created here. I kind of like this thing. I like business. I do. So, yes, the Sacred Calabash is the name of the container, and it's all about getting your leques. It's going to be for 12 weeks. And yeah, my goal is to get you started in EFI. And I will do my best to give you as much tradition as I can. And uh, then I'm going to also make sure you understand the way Tyra rolls. Ia Tyra rolls is we are guided by our Ori, our ancestors, and the Orisha. We're not guided by books necessarily. Now, we're not doing anything disrespectful, but we've got to break away from feeling like spirituality has to be done like in this box. It's not. No. But I'm going to talk about that more. I need to keep going. Anywho, you can come here if you haven't already been here. And there is if you want to listen via podcast, it's on my podcast. I'm putting it everywhere, but I want to put it somewhere where it's easy for you just to find everything instead of you having to look around my channel. If you're not already in my group, you can join the group. There's a special place that I created within Mighty Networks. So if y'all are already in Mighty Networks, just look for the pre-initiation temple is what I'm calling it. It is in there. And then this is the playlist of videos that I've already put up. And day before yesterday, I added a little bit more because I want y'all to begin to understand what what I am about and what this is going to be about. It is not going to just be getting a whole bunch of stuff in your brain. People like to talk a lot in spirituality. Spirituality needs to be experienced. Okay. So I'm making this as experiential as possible. And you're going to get to ask a lot of questions. I'm doing all I can because I've created a portal with, um, you know, just some recordings. It's all audio to help you understand, the teachings of Ifa and the Orisha tradition. But yeah, you can learn more there. I love my website. I love what I have put in here so far. So there's more to come. There's more to come there. Okay. I'll move it there. All right. Let's see if anybody else has joined. Thank you. Yeah, initially I was gonna do 6 weeks because in the past I was doing shorter. It was like I need to make sure that I tell people what they need to know. That's very important to me. My godparents did a great job. Don't get me wrong. I just wish that I had been given a little bit more of the foundational teachings and information. I used to have this little guidebook. I'm assuming I gave it to you, Minister Ocean Kimmy, that, it had some information, it had some details, it helped you to understand just some foundational things that you needed to be focused on. But with this, I decided, you know what? Let's just take our time. Why are we rushing? And I already know everyone's going to have questions. People are going to ask me questions. So we may as well do it over a 3-month time period and everyone can get their questions answered. It'll help me to understand, what did I not tell y'all that you needed to know? All that kind of good stuff. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be very healing. Y'all know I'm ease and flow. I'm healing. I'm not trying to be, I don't carry a ruler and whap you like the nuns used to. And they never hit me. My mama wouldn't have stood for that, but you know what I mean. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be amazing because I want everyone to have a really good start. So hi, Shamika. How are you? Oh, wait a minute. I went to the wrong one. Here we go up here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yes, I am. Beautiful rising. Okay. I kept trying to get to that one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Uh, thank you. Okay. So, what I want to do is first thing I want to do is I want to call in Eshu Alegwa. This is the Orisha that is the messenger Orisha. And you always open it up because it opens up the communication between us and the spirits, communication in general. To me, we walk with our ancestors. They surround us day in and day out, but we definitely want to be opening up the communication. And so we're just honoring the energy of Eshu, also known as Alegwa, Alegba, just opening up the gateways of communication and yeah, calling you in Eshu Alegwa. Um, as always, I just want to give thanks to our guides, the Great Mother, the ancestors, calling you in to sit here with us, be here with us, and support us because whatever we receive today is something that we're going to all be able to use in our lives moving forward. Calling in the energy of the Orisha, the additional Orisha. We're going to call in Obatala. Obatala is the white Ileke, king of the white cloth, calling in your wisdom, calling in Shango, calling in the king, the leader, the strategist, the leader. Calling in the energy of Oshun, Maferfun Oshun. Such sweetness. Such wisdom, such creative energy. Calling in Yeye Oshun. Last one, calling in Orisha Meferfun, Yemoja, calling in Yemoja, calling in your love, your nurturance, your healing, your guidance. You find Eshu at the crossroads. So wherever we stand at the crossroads today, may you bring us wisdom, may you bring us clarity. May you help us choose the path that will take us down the path of Iwa Pele, which is good character. Obatala is the energy of the mountain. May you help us as we sit here, step into the clarity that we find on your mountain, Obatala. Shango is the fire. So we call in your energy, the energy of the fire, and we just give thanks to you, Shango, for igniting us, motivating us, and helping us to do what it is that we need to do, especially when it comes to our spiritual practices and our spiritual growth and evolution. Oshun is found in the river, the sweet waters, the soft, gentle flowing waters of the earth. And she's also bees. We can relate her to the energy of bees. And we just call in your sweetness. We call in joy and pleasure, especially as we sit here in Taurus season, Oshun. Oshun created the Meridian Lagoon divination system. So we're calling in your wisdom, your deep, powerful, profound wisdom, Oshun, Meferfun Oshun. And again, Yemoja is the energy of the ocean. She's really all the waters of the earth, but we'll just say the ocean. And again, calling in your healing, you provide for us, Yemoja. You provide for us. We give you thanks. We give you thanks. We give you thanks. Okay. Oh crap. Let me I forgot to get to pour libations. Let me turn a little music on. I got to get the water and my little plant. I forgot to bring that in. Just a minute. Mm. Hi, Felicia. Okay. I do have my plant. Just know that. So in this tradition, we honor our ancestors. It's very much a tradition that is about keeping us connected to our ancestors, understanding actually our ancestors are our chief ancestor. I mean, our chief guardian angels. And they really should be called upon before the Orisha. That's my teaching. But here we go. I'm going to pour libations. And essentially, I'm honoring the ancestors. I'm honoring the Orisha. And you'll hear me just kind of add in some words that are in English because, you know, That's what I do. I add in what I want to, if I don't know how to say it in Yoruba, but you're gonna hear me say this in Yoruba. Iba yemenya warrior, Iba yemenya kute, Iba yemenya kona, yemenya taramagwa on the boy about me, maja kiki wana j, yemenya fumi amo adupwe. Okay. Oh, shoots. Hold on one second. Mm-mm. Omi tutu ili tutu ono tutu tutu shu tutu risha majuba lofi majuba grom majuba lujamara majuba gom babo gani be mojiba baba larisha ila risha wat rat room mojiba bobo ikubulisa olujama be room mojiba mother father weather air ethers moon star sun mojiba north south east and the west ki kamase kerde anke kosefo koseku kosedina kosfatibo kosefo koserum kosese koseyo kosekba koswahala kosalopa to avert any other negative energies or situations that can negatively affect me and my well, all of us, any of us in our families. For me, Ray, for me, Lafayette, for me, Pele, for me, Wolf, for me, Bon, for me, Lara, for me, Fa. For me, all things good, divine, abundant, prosper, protective be upon me and my family and everybody in their family. Erica Baba Wa, Erica Wa, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So we give thanks to the ancestors. We give thanks to the ancestors. Thank you, Egun, Mojiba, Iba. Those are words that we say honoring the ancestors or whoever you want to honor. Mojiba, Mojiba, we, Mojiba, Iba, Ajuba, Mojiba, we, Ajuba, I, Iba, just honoring the ancestors. So we give thanks and calling in the ancestors to sit here with us, lead, guide, and direct us. And we just give thanks that you have lived so that we may live. We honor your lives and we stand on your shoulders, and we know that we are the future ancestors. And so continue to lead, guide, and direct us, a goon. So what I want to do today is for me, the wisdom of Ifa is very important. And so I'm going to share an Odu. But what I want to start out with is just the foundational teaching, because the foundational teachings are everything. Mhm. Hello, how are you? Beautiful. Yeah, I just say do your best. Do your best. I always say whenever I'm actually pretty good with pronunciations, even if I don't know the words. I just say fix it, ancestors. I don't let fear of nothing. I'm gonna say those prayers. They know I ain't from that country. I wasn't born there. I don't know the language, so I just say fix it, ancestors. Um, so anywho, I want to just begin to talk to you a little bit about Ifa, and then we're going to do the reading and we're going to start meshing it together. So, one of the number one things that I want you all to know about this tradition is there's different ways that, or different energies, I guess you could say, that we're working with. And there's a focus and an emphasis on one thing as we work with these energies, and that is Iwa Pele. Iwa Pele, good character. All right. So, the first foundational thing I want you all to know, yes, there is the great deity, the oneness within this tradition is called Oludumare. Oludumare. And I find that we do talk about, this energy of Oludumare when you hear people talking about the different stories, the different scripture, the Odu, the Pataki. And so we do hear that, but it's not the same as what we see people doing in a lot of religions. It was like this great kneeling down to this great almighty deity, who is the focus of the religion. It is not that. A lot of it is focused on you, the individual, you, your Iwa Pele. How are you living? How the other part, Iwa Pele, destiny. So how are you living? And where how are you making the corrections? Because one thing that is clear to me when I look at all of these stories of these deities, they were very imperfect. They were very imperfect. Even as deities sitting in Orun, which is what we call heaven, they still were imperfect. I was reading about or listening to something about, I'm listening to this book about the deities in the Egyptian tradition. I'm like, even as deities, they were off the chain. They were gods and goddesses acting up, you know? So so much of this is about learning and realizing the imperfections that we have and what is it that we need to be doing in order to bring ourselves into balance. This is a tradition that's very focused on being in balance. And so yeah, it's cool to hear about the deities and to sing their songs, and I believe the wisdom is the most powerful piece, but I do know that the singing is very important. I love it. I don't understand all the words, but I'll turn it on and get tranced out, you know. And the dancing, which I am going to teach that. I'm going to teach some of the dance moves inside of my program, my initiation. But the wisdom for me is what matters the most, and that just kind of makes sense since I'm a diviner. But it's like, are you using this wisdom to bring yourself into balance? And that's why I love that this tradition is connected to nature. The question is, how are you getting yourself in balance with nature? And that's why people love this tradition, because we understand if we're in spring, how can we be in balance with spring? What are the things that we do that brings us in balance with spring? Or winter, summer, fall. If there is something going on out in nature, when we can study the animals, and that's what I love about this tradition. You actually don't need a book, you don't need teachings. You can just go be out in nature. You study nature, you go outside, be at one with nature. It will help you to learn so much. It will help to bring you in balance, right? But we are human. We can read, we can speak, we can learn. So all of whatever is out there about this tradition is helpful to us as humans. So don't get me wrong about that. So yes, that's what we want to be focused on. And we are wanting to be in alignment with our destiny. We all were given a destiny. And the question is, am I in balance and living out my destiny? Why am I not living out my destiny? Is there some imbalance? You know, those are the kinds of things that we want to be thinking about. Um, okay. I will say I want y'all to I want you just to stitch in with one word right now, because I hadn't done that yet. And I know Keita May is gonna be like, Ia. I want you to stitch in with one word right now that describes oh, I want you to stitch in with where you're struggling in your character. Maybe just use one word. Just use one word. Like for me, y'all know I've talked about integrity. So I'm Tyra and I'm stitching in with the word integrity. You don't have to give too much about it. Just if you can with one word, something around your character. What are you calling in? What are you calling in for your character? Your good character. Okay. So today I want to talk about the Ori. In my mind, if you think about it, the Orisha, the Orisha. What's the first part of that word? O-R-I, Ori. So Ori is the seat of consciousness within you, within me. We all are born with an Ori. Now the Ori can be complicated. I'm gonna give a very simple explanation because I already know that there's multiple parts of the Ori, but I'm keeping it simple because simplicity matters right now. So the Ori is you, is me. We are all born with an Ori. There is the part of you that is conscious and aware, and then there's a part of you or your soul that is not incarnated into the body. And it has come here with you as your own special guide. Everyone was born with an Ori, and the Ori is here just for you. I love this so much because there's so many of us who feel lonely, who it feels like the world kind of beat us up, but we all have the Ori that was sent here just for you. And your relationship with the Orisha depends on your Ori. All right. Anything that we're calling in is largely connected to, are we in alignment with our Ori? Because a lot of us come, and the way it is taught, and this is what I teach through my goddess tradition, is we come in here and we forget. We are not going to remember. That's just part of what it means to incarnate as a human being. You are born and you forget that you are, infinite potential. And so what ends up happening is you will okay, hold on. I lost my train of thought. Let me take a little sip. What are you drinking this morning? Mm. Okay. What happens is you're born and you forget. And so we're not fully aware of the Ori. We're not fully aware that we have this energy here with us. And one of the things that I do love, for those who are born into the tradition, is there is work that is done for little babies in this tradition that will help to connect them to their Ori, to get their destiny and the Odu, which is the wisdom, like it's spoken consciously to that baby, even though the baby doesn't know consciously what's going on, but it is spoken so that the Ori can hear it, the baby's subconscious mind can hear it. And so we're most of us don't have that. And it takes a minute for us to really open ourselves up to hear from our Ori. But that Ori is that part of yourself that has always guided you. It doesn't matter if you're initiated, not initiated, never initiate. That doesn't matter. None of that matters. You got one. And all you have to do is continue to listen to that Ori. And the Ori, number one, is guiding you on the path to self-realization, my teaching. It's guiding you on the path to understanding the truth of who and what you are. And this Ori is also in charge of helping you to understand where baby, where are you not doing too good in your Iwa-Pele, in your good character. And so that's why it's so important to work with the Ori. The Orisha, which means select head, the Orisha are here to support us and our Ori in living in alignment with good character and in our destinies, in living out our destinies. And for me, everyone is gonna, well, I'm gonna talk about the Orisha later. So we have the Orisha that are really here to support us. It is the Ori. The Ori is the primary Orisha to work with, point blank, period, and full stop. All right. And so I think what I want to send you out of here with today, one of the things I want to send you out of here with today is the importance of, excuse me, taking note of the voice that speaks to you in that wise way. It's like your Ori really and truly should be your best friend. That Ori should be your best friend. That Ori should be your best friend. For me, this tradition, the greatest thing I've ever gained from this tradition is working with the Ori. And so part of the way we can begin to connect with the Ori is we've got to get rid of the monkey mind, or maybe not get rid of the monkey mind, but it is more of like, how do you get that monkey mind to quiet down so that you can begin to commune and connect with the Ori? Because the Ori is who can show you the next step to take. The Ori is who will help you to understand when you feel confused about what am I supposed to do? What's my purpose? It is doing the work to connect with the Ori. And so there are things that we do within the Ifa tradition, and it might be a whole bunch of stuff. I keep it simple, blessing the head every day. All right. Just taking that time to um, clear your mind and refresh your connection to Ori. That is very important within this tradition. And I'm just going to give y'all a goddess energetic way to do this really quickly because I teach how to bless your head in the initiation. I'm sure you can go find people it's the internet. You can find people who will show you, but I don't want to do that one right now. So all you got to do is just take your hand right here on the forehead, swipe it across your head, all the way down the nape of your neck. Just tell me how differently you feel after you do this. Let's do it 3 to 10 times, okay? Just reset your energy. And I want you to take some deep breaths. Actually, I don't know if I have my book out. Um, in the book Yoruba Religious Concepts by Baba Ifa Karaday, he has an Oriki, a prayer for the Ori, I think, in English. Yeah, but I've been doing so much work, I don't see my book right away. So I'm not gonna try to find it. Anywho, the Ori. The Ori is the primary. I know everybody loves the Orisha. It's so cool. It's so cool. And I love the Orisha. I love the Orisha. I will call on these Orisha. But baby, whatever you want. The Orisha, nobody, nothing can give you what the head won't allow, what Ori won't allow. The primary thing to do is to connect with your Ori. Another way to describe this would be the higher self. Connect with your higher self. In the Hindu tradition, this would be Ganesha. And in the goddess tradition, it is your inner goddess. All right. In in the Metu Neter, the closest I would say is Orsair or Osiris, but that energy is also connected to Obatala. But I will say the energy of Obatala, um, he's the Orisha that is in everything. His energy is interwoven into all the other teachings of the Orisha. There's no place Obatala is not. So it could be he is like Orsair, but yeah. Anywho, that's a little bit of a deviation. So I want to just take a moment and look at some of your um comments. I started off with my Yemonja prayer when I was doing the mm, there's a Yana. Oh, okay. I love that y'all greet everybody because then when I miss something, then it's like, oh, hi Yana. I'm glad that you're here. Good. Yeah, it's time to tap into your own energy or wisdom. I get that. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. You can see we're a friendly bunch. Yes. Thank you. I like the music too. Okay, I did look at these, so let me keep going. I'm just looking at the Yep, fix it ancestors. I am very aware of how legalistic and dogmatic and perfectionistic people can be in this tradition, and all I can say is it's annoying AF. It's what turned me off. It's what made me just say, "I'll do goddess. I'm not gonna do all this because it's just, I could just go to some church for all that. I don't need it. I don't need all that." So, yeah, that's very interesting. You always be bringing the history and the intellectual stuff. Let's see here. That is a beautiful fact. Mm. Kid May, you know you're supposed to stay on me. I don't mind. Calling in some emotional balance for my irritability, ashe. Ashe. Inquiry, ashe. I'm Keita May and I'm stitching in with being of service, ashe. I'm Latanya and I'm stitching in with forgiveness, ashe. We love to say ashe in this tradition. I am Ocean Kimmy and I'm stitching in with humility, ashe. All right, we got some coffee. Wata. I'm Shamika and I'm stitching in with forward movement. Ashe. Green tea. Hello, I'm hella late again. Gonna catch the start afterwards. Not a problem, Queen. Not a problem, High Priestess Shannon. How are you? Grand Rising Kiana. Yes, 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 yes. Mm, let's see here. I was so excited when you decided to do this. Everyone else is always fighting about who is right and wrong, and it turned me off from the tradition. You know what? It's part of the reason I'm doing it is I in order for me to be, to prepare and just cover all my bases because I don't teach this all the time. I'm a practitioner. I don't teach this all of the time. So I'm just being 100. I have to get out and just check and triple check what I know. If I feel like there's a gap somewhere, it's like, okay, I got to make sure I fill this in. And it just made me say, this is why I just was like, I can't be somebody who's out here teaching this. But I am now, but I'm not gonna be doing all of that. I'm gonna say what I say. I'm gonna mean what I mean. People can buy it or they don't. I'm not attached to it. I'm not. But you know what, Latanya, I'm so glad you brought that up. I never thought about this. Part of the game to keep us running in circle and sabotaged, we do it to ourselves, to be honest with you, is keep us in dissension. Don't let them ever let this religion be powerful. And the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna keep them arguing. Well, we're choosing to keep ourselves arguing. That's how I see it. I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm just not gonna do it. Um, I'm here for growth. I'm here. I am very grateful that my teachers were like, we're here for self-realization. That's why I said that's my teaching because that's what was given to me. What is Ifa about? Self-realization, self-mastery. It is a path. It is not the only path. There's very little anything that is unique about any of these religions. They all pretty much teaching the exact same thing. They have unique ways of sharing it that's based on these cultural the way they were birthed through these teachings were birthed through culture, or these religions were birthed through culture. That's what makes it unique. But the actual, what is the ultimate purpose of these religions is all the same. Humans come here and we forget and we're lost and we need something to help us get rebalanced and back on track. In my mind, Ifa is a valid way to do that. But where we go wrong, and you know what? It's not even just Ifa, because if you think about it, all the Christians are arguing about which one of their denominations is the best. They do it in Islam. Baby, I'll never forget when I found out how the Buddhist and yoga people, they all think they got the right path. This is what humans do. Um, but we're distracting. When we do that, we're distracting and we're taking away from the ultimate purpose of what these are about, helping to restore people, because we come here to this planet Earth. Onile is how we say it in the Ifa tradition. We come here to planet Earth and we get beat up because everybody is in the sea of forgetfulness. And we're operating from being in this human body instead of operating from, you know, the higher part of ourselves, the part of ourselves that's more evolved and loving and full of growth. But this is just what it means to be here. It's no judgment on any of it, because this is how it was created to be. And so how are you going to get yourself realigned, recalibrated, so that you feel at peace? I think a lot of people who really live this out in a way that is meaningful, instead of arguing over what's right and what's wrong. We have a lot of peace. And I think that's true for anyone who is living their spirituality out and practicing some religion in a way that is genuine and true. A lot of peace. That's what we're here to do. That's what it's about. It's not about, that's why I told Shamika, I don't care if I pronounce something wrong. And that's why a lot of times I would pray in English, because I don't want to mess up. I want to make sure that the universe knows what I am trying to say. I talk to my ancestors in English. I ain't talking to them in Yoruba. Because guess what? I don't know the language. That is something y'all going to get from me quite a bit. So, if I'm going to help you, I'm going to be making recordings of all the prayers that I can find, and say them in the best way that I possibly can to help you be able to do the same. But I don't care if I'm talking to these Orisha in English or not. I don't care if I'm using Yoruba. Um, and that's why I'm saying all the legalism, I'm not better or worse if I say it in Yoruba, because guess what? A lot of people over there in Nigeria land do not respect this religion. Now, they may have seen some stuff that ain't right, but you can't. It's bad people and doing it's bad Christians, which is largely what a lot of them do over there. There's a lot of this Muslims over there too. They don't even get along with each other. Yoruba is one way of speaking out of that culture. And, it's like the Yoruba look down on the Igbo, and the Igbo look down on the Hausa, and it's a mess. So do not. I'm just doing everything I can to be calm, because I can be very passionate about this. Don't think that there's anything inherent that makes you special about being a part of this religion or tradition. What makes you special, honestly, is, are you living it? Are you doing your daily practices? Is your life getting better? And this is why I have taken the path that I have taken, because it's like, I'm not going to do something just because other people are doing it. Especially if I look at that person and I think, I don't want to be like that. You'll see a lot of that in this religion. And they might be able to read everything and speak everything and shake and know all the different rituals. But if I perceive that you don't have your life together, I might not. I might not really care to do what you're doing. So what matters the most is humility. What matters the most is you come in and you learn what you can. You speak the Yoruba that you can speak. And then the rest of the time you speak in English, Spanish. I don't care what your language is. That's what you do. The universe and the Orisha and the ancestors are not caught up on the things that humans are caught up on when it comes to this tradition. And for me, I want you to grow. I want you to thrive. I want you to have peace. This religion is about keeping families together. I want you to have health, wellness, happiness in your families for generations to come. I want you to enjoy the benefits of being a part of a spiritual tradition that survived something so heinous as the transatlantic slave trade. You can't tell me this is not a powerful religion. We're not going to disempower ourselves through this arguing. We're just not going to do it. This religion, of all the religions that came over, this is the one that made it. You can't tell me this is not a powerful religion, but my goal is to do it in the most powerful way so that you benefit in your life. And we really do have to just say, I'm just not going to listen to all that BS. I'll find what works. I'll listen to however many people I need to listen to. And then the rest is I'm going to put my head down and I'm applying everything that I learn. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to open my ears and I'm going to listen to my Ori. And my Ori will always let me know what the Odu is calling me to do, the wisdom. My Ori will always let me know which Orisha do I need to work with. Do I need to work with Yemanja or do I need to work with Oshun? I don't care. I don't have to just work with Yemanja. Sometimes Yemanja is like, you know what, Tyra? I don't want to deal with you today. Go over there and talk to Shango. Or go talk to Obatala or Oko or Ogun. You need to work with them today. That's what you need. You don't need to work with Yemanja today. Right? Talk about I remember leading up to this when I decided, okay, I'm gonna do this in the fall. I thought, oh my gosh, I really gotta grow up. I gotta grow up spiritually. Cause the old me was just like, I don't have to do this. I could just take care of myself. I could just take care of myself. But at least I'm getting it all out. It is on the record what I think, feel, and believe. Okay. I have to go find Latanyas. Ekaro, Ayoka, how are you? Stitching in with love. Yay. Oh, thank y'all so much. Yeah. I'm reading all of y'all's amazing comments. Yes, to everything you all are saying. Yeah. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I am putting my teachings that I know, well, not my teachings, what I know and have been taught and have learned about Ifa. Now, y'all will never hear me call this Yoruba. And it is for the very reason that I'm telling y'all. This religion was born out of the Yoruba people. But I don't call myself, I might be Yoruba. I don't know. I know I have Nigerian blood. Am I Yoruba? I don't know. But you won't hear me call myself or call this religion Yoruba because it transcends that culture in the sense that it's not just for the Yoruba. Okay. I like to call it Ifa because that is really what it is. Ifa, wisdom. I also like to say the Orisha tradition. And the reason I like to make that distinction is because sometimes when you say I'm initiated into Ifa, in the community, that means I have been initiated as a Babalao or Iyanifa. So those people, they have names that start with Ifa. So like I said, Baba Ifa Karade wrote the book Yoruba Religious Concepts. And he's actually I'm a part of that tradition, so if you initiate, you're gonna be a part of that tradition because my Baba G, Baba Kolioso initiated with Baba Ifa Karade, and then my, Iya Oshinike, she initiated with the Ankes, that's what she said, but she also mentions Baba, it's gonna come back to me, Wande, Baba Wande Abimbola, who is renowned. She said that's her Baba also. I know she was Santeria at one point, and then she decided when she initiated as a priestess, she was going to go to Africa to do it. And so, or she was going to choose the Ifa tradition. So when people are initiated into Ifa in the tradition, and that's why I said I'm going to be doing everything I can to make sure you don't make the mistakes that I made and get harshly corrected. So that's why I like to call it the Ifa-Orisha tradition, because when you get your Elekes, you're working with with Ifa. You can't not work with Ifa because everything in this is about getting an Odu, which is the wisdom. And so you're going to be working with the Odu through the Orisha. So when you get your Elekes, you're getting the Orisha, right? So Ifa-Orisha tradition is what I prefer to call it. All right. But yeah. Mm, I'm just not gonna be arguing with people. I've 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 done it all. I've I've done it all. Ooh, ooh, okay. Ogun, Yemojan, oh yeah. It's who I've been called to work with. I have had many who have their houses tell me I cannot work with them because I've not been given my elekes. Okay. I'm so happy that we're having these discussions. How can you not be able to work with the Orisha when the Orisha are forces of nature? My position is this within the tradition, and we have to remember there's Ifa, Santeria, Lukumi, Candomblé, and maybe, a few other little variations that aren't as popular. So for instance, I anyone can go and buy the elekes and wear them, right? And by the same token, if you haven't gone through the initiation, it's just important for you to make sure you let people know, yeah, I'm wearing the elekes, but I'm not initiated. Or if you are if it says something within the tradition, this is only for people who have been officially initiated into the tradition. I agree with that. There's a part where it's like there is the tradition and what they say, this is how it is within the tradition. And I believe do not cross those boundaries. If it says this is only for those who have gone through the priest and priestess training or not training, initiation, I believe that you should not do that. There are things. So for me, I am what is called Iyalarisha, which means I am an Orisha priestess. There are things I should not be doing that the ones who went through being an Iyanifa or a Babalao, they are initiated into Ifa. There's things I should not be doing that they can do because I have not been initiated into that. Now, this is a serious tradition. I mean, it's a serious religion. So it's certain rules where it's like don't do this thing that the religion does because this is for this level of initiation. Otherwise, baby, sing your the Reiki, do your initiations, work. You can call Ogun, Yamajaya, Oya, you can call them all by name. You can light your candles. You can do whatever you want to because this religion does not have these Orisha on lock. And I think that the very fact that we have Ifa, Santeria, Lukumi, Candomblé is like pure example of how, for whatever reason, Ifa, and I'm telling y'all, this is what I've heard some Babalaos say, there's a reason Ifa left over on them slave ships coming over here. And maybe Ifa just didn't want to be over there doing what they were doing. If it was so, it would still just be there, and everybody would have to go to Nigeria to initiate. But for whatever reason, it got on it came across with these ships, took over. This tradition was the one that became the reigning one of all the Africans, the different Africans that came here. This is the one that took hold. This, you can't put it in a box. You can't tell people who this is forces of nature. What are you talking about? You can absolutely. That's why I said in the beginning, there's no religion that has anything on lock. It might have its own special expression of it, but you can't not work with the forces of nature. You have to work with the forces of nature because they're nature, right? I do love that part of Ifa. I don't see this a lot in other traditions. You know, if you think about Buddhism, it's just a different, you know what Buddha did? Buddha did sit outside quite a bit. Buddha found his enlightenment under a tree. Hmm. Hmm. But just the cosmology of a lot of these religions or traditions are not so based in nature like Ifa and the Orisha tradition are. So I don't know what the conversation was, but my position is there's no way you can't work with the Orisha. It's impossible by the very nature of the fact that we're here. But I hear all the time people being told what you can and cannot do. Hmm. Hmm. It's shattering all of my hesitation. I've been drawn to learn, educate, not no practice anything but what I've seen in the humanness of it. Yep, all stricken in fear and not humility and peace. Kiki. I didn't know what I was getting into. I initiated sort of outside of meeting the humanness piece of this. And then once I initiated, I'm going to tell y'all something. I remember when I first got my Lekes, there was this professor. She wasn't much older than me at the time, but she had a big sister feel to her. I didn't know her well. And I was so excited to have my Lekes. You know, when you first get your Lekes, you wear them everywhere. It's just like, oh my gosh, I have my Lekes. Plus, they're spiritual. They're little altars that you get to carry around. And, you know, it's like if I feel like a clarity, I'm going to be connecting with my Obatala. It's like, yes, I'm so excited. And I expressed this excitement one day, and this lady was there. Like I said, I don't remember who she was because this was the last time I talked to her. And she was like, I don't like that. You're being, essentially, she was like, you're being arrogant and like she put me down for that. And I thought, what is going on? She was upset that I expressed joy in having my elekes. I will never do that to you. I will never do that to you. I refuse to be a part of the negativity of of the human part of this tradition. I will do my best to help you understand how to practice this in a way that is meaningful to you with as few rules as possible. because I'm not gonna hide who I am. I was initiated by people who said many paths, one truth. And my teachers typically were like, you better not pick up a book. You need to sit on your mat. You need to see what your Orisha gonna tell you. If you get an Odu, you need to sit with that Odu and see how the Odu guides you. Okay? Y'all, not all of us are like that. And you just have to stay away from the people who are like that. I can tell you this much too. Fun fact. Initially, I had all kinds of things on my channel and I was pondering like, okay, maybe I will really lead with talking about Ifa, the Orisha, that kind of thing. And so many people, especially men for whatever reason, would come and leave these corrective comments. And I just said, deuces. That's when I changed this I mean, I've always been goddess, body, mind, spirit, but that's when I changed this into, oh yeah, we're just here for the women and we're going to talk goddess. But to me, this is a part of the goddess tradition too. So yeah. Yay. Ah, I love my silent follower subscribers. Hey, Kiki, glad you're here. So glad you're here. Oh, yay. Thank y'all for welcoming Kiki. Oh, yeah. Mm, mm. Thank you. Whew, y'all know I don't monetize my videos anymore, so I actually don't have to care about YouTube. But yeah, thank you. Ah. As a Santeria, I believe I needed them, but did not feel that I could work with them in my practices, so I keep it to myself. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy you're joining me. Thank you, High Priestess. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have a great time. Ah. Okay, this is interesting. I didn't know that. It was only when Buddha lived in Thailand that he began to share his understanding of our connections to nature. Interesting. I might have to look that up. But I mean, it's apparent, just when you think about his story. And yeah, was sitting under a tree. Wow. Um, oh, thank y'all so much. Exactly. Yeah. And the problem is, this is something else that I will be, well, y'all know I've already talked about it here, but I'm gonna just say it. A huge part of my teaching, do not deify your teachers. That's the biggest issue we got going on here. A lot of deification of teachers. If you talk about somebody's teacher, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm sort of similar. But if my teacher does something that I think isn't right, so I was actually a young lady I know was asking me some questions about Ifa, and I said, let me explain something, y'all. I'm a guide. People can call me Iya if they want to. I don't tell anybody to call me Iya. I will call myself Iya just so people know, but I don't expect people to call me Iya. You can call me Tyra. You can call me Omilade. You can call me Tyra Omilade. Who used to do that? There was some little comedy thing. But anywho, um, I'm a guide. Don't put me on a pedestal. I'm here to support you in having the practice that you need to be setting up for yourself. You will be your only salvation. I will never be able to actually save you. Maybe some work I've done will be highly supportive, but some of this is just deification of teachers. That's a huge, huge problem that we have. You can call me Ia. You can call me Tyra. You can call me Tyra Milade. Okay. Let me get to the Odu. This has been such a great conversation. If it's actually healing for me because I've been so resistant to doing this. Most people know if you get your Alekes with me, it's very, very special because it's very few people. And a lot of times it's been like, okay, get them with me because I want you to have a good start. That's how I've always done it. Instead of sending you out to the streets, just get them with me because I know I can do this. I'll take y'all to warriors. Eventually, I'm going to get to the warriors. And then beyond warriors, I'm gonna have to set up an arrangement with Awo. Oh, that's something I was gonna tell y'all. Me and Awo, his name is Awo Omitosin. We're gonna make these recordings where I ask some questions. We're both gonna answer. That way, you hear from somebody outside of me. That's very important to me. Okay. Oh, oh, yay! I I have very good teachers. I'm not gonna lie, and I just have experience that lets me know. So yeah, we've highly focused on the Ori today. So let's talk about the Odu. The Odu are the wisdom. And what I want us to do is I want you to just think about all the things that we've talked about today. And interestingly, the Odu for today is Irosun, which I just keep casting this Odu. Irosun. Now, each Odu is connected with Orisha, sometimes one Orisha, sometimes multiple. And with this particular Odu, it's so interesting. I'm happy that we talked first. That's what I wanted to do because I wanted to see how would the Odu layer in with the discussion that we've had today. The Orisha are Eshu, Shango, and Egun. Eshu, we started out with Eshu. Elegua is another way to say it. Elegba is another word or another way. So Eshu is all about standing at the crossroads. And when you stand at the crossroads, this is where you meet Eshu. You meet Eshu at the crossroads. And the question is, what direction are you going to go? What direction are you going to take at those crossroads? And all of it is based on Iwa Pele. Your character. Your character that will decide which direction that you take. Eshu it's always been said, Eshu is objective. He doesn't care what direction you take. It's all based on your character. And that is, you will get the consequences of that. I don't see that. A lot of times people make it sound like, well, you're going to get doled out the consequences of the choices that you make. That's how they say it a lot of times. But I'm like, the way I always looked at it was like, okay, I learned something from that and it can help me to make better choices in the future. So I want y'all to be thinking about that. What are the choices that you are making? Elegua is standing there at the crossroads with you. And, it's going to give you information about where you are in your growth and development. Is it like, okay, this is good, I'm headed in a good direction? Or is it like, no, I need to be making some improvements? And so for me, one of the things that I like to share was I would make the choice and then I'd come back to the crossroad and just be like, okay, well, I can see I'm improving, but I can see where I still have some growth. And then I would say, okay, I'm ready to make another choice, Eshua Legua. And then I would make that choice. And each choice helped me. I would go back and stand at the crossroads. This is all mental. You can go stand at a physical crossroads if you want to. I would go stand at the crossroads and I would assess. Okay, how am I? Okay, I'm getting better. That's what I love about how I teach this tradition. For me, the Orisha are like, all right, let's get up. Let's do this again. The ancestors, it's no problem. You messed up today, not a problem. We're gonna stay in this with you. All right. The other one is Shango, who we've talked about Shango today a little bit. Shango is truly the strategist. And Shango a lot of times has to do with our ego. That's one of the number one things I would say. Shango was let's just say Shango had big energy. Shango had a big, uh, big ego and very masculine and manly, all that kind of thing. And so maybe that's something that some of us are dealing with at this time. We're needing to look at our ego and check our ego because maybe your ego is preventing you from living good character or is getting in the way of you actually living out your destiny. But we'll look at the Odu and see how can our ego be checked in this particular way. The Odu will help us to understand that. Okay. So we're going to be focusing on ego. And then there's the Egun, who are the ancestors. Outside of Ori, Egun, ancestors. Period, full stop. Sometimes you'll hear people say Egungun. I say Egun. And the Egungun is a lot of times it's people who are special people. Their gift is to work with the ancestor. I mean, the Egun. Doesn't matter to me if you say Egun or Egungun. So Egungun, it sounds kind of cool, doesn't it? Egungun. But the Egun, our ancestors, don't jump from get your, you initiate and just go straight to the Orisha. You're leaving out probably the most important group that will help you outside of your Ori, your ancestors. So this Odu, Erosun, calls you to work with your ancestors. Calls you to work with your ancestors. And doing so helps you to maintain a sense of balance and perspective with and within the universe. So working with your ancestors, what is that? Call on their names, read about them, write about them, honor them, pour libations if you know how to pour libations. And to me, I don't care how you pour libations. Yes, I pour libations. You're using the Yoruba language, but one of the things I'm going to do is include the first libations I ever poured was from Iyanla, and they are all in English. Iyanla is a genius the way she did this. And Tapping the Power Within, if you were fortunate enough to see that the original Tapping the Power Within, she's a genius. The way the Risha led her to make this religion something that we all could be a part of. Wow. But we're wanting that balance, and we're wanting to be balanced with the universe. So with Irasun, cautious behavior is indicated. So we need to have that caution. Each step is critical. So taking things step by step ensures safe passage and blessings. I was trying to connect it to the Shango message. Is your ego getting in the way? Wow, that was kind of on my toes. I need to really think about that. Is your ego getting in the way of me understanding each step is critical? All right. And sometimes your ego is not going to get you to safe passage and blessings because it's all caught up. It knows everything. For some of us, our ego is so scary, it just freezes you. The ego is not just like Shango's version of the ego. We all are dealing with an ego. So I wonder how your ego is preventing you from having this cautious behavior, taking things step by step to ensure safe passage and blessings, preventing you from having careful reflection as you move forward. So this is the thing that I think is the most important for this particular Odu, because y'all have heard me read this numerous times. When you feel like things are not going your way, you may even feel people or your environment are betraying you. You have to remain true to form. Be your true self. So where have you deviated from being your true self? And to me, what this has said to me is I have values and I have, character traits that I am not going to compromise. No matter how hellacious this world looks, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna stay true to form. This is what Erosun talks about. I'm not gonna go too deep. Okay, so yes, let me just say this. I think with this particular Odu, something that's really important is for you to really be doing things to protect your head. And when it comes to protecting your head, it's like, what are you letting in to your psyche and your consciousness? Because some of that is impacting your ability to, commune and be in balance with the universe, or it's throwing you off your game and you're doing things that are outside of your character and your values. So, expansion and growth are indicated in order to avoid the pitfalls of selfish and short-sighted behavior. How are you opening yourself up to see more? What are you doing? How are you growing? How are you expanding? And when you're able to see things from that more expanded place, more than likely, you're going to be able to avoid pitfalls that come from the way our ego operates, which could either be our ego is just too big, or it's like it's so small. Oh, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. I'm weak. I don't have any power. Or, I know what I'm doing. I just know everything. You know which one is you, right? So we have to make sure that we're doing things that allow us to grow and expand. And I want you to just let me know, what's one thing you're willing to commit yourself to today that will allow you to grow and expand, because it's very important. We have to have cautious behavior. We have to take things step by step. And we want to have that critical thinking. This is a little bit of a it's not super intuitive. It's not like working with the feminine Orisha. One of the things that's indicated is logic and common sense should be one's traveling companion on the journey. Logic and common sense should be one's traveling companion on the journey. And one of the things I am going to do inside of the initiation is give y'all my understanding of the Odu, just these little descriptions so that you have the Odu. The Odu are far reaching. When you read some of the books that have the Odu written out, it's just like, wow. They're pretty amazing in Africa, the way they have to quote. They have to learn these Odu and be able to say them, just through their mind. Yeah, like just say it. You just have to be able to say the Odu. And you talk about a lot of words. Wow. Wow. I want you to think like the Bible or Quran, whatever you were raised up with, or some holy book, and you have to remember like a whole chapter and say it by heart, memorize it. That's what they do there. They hardcore over there in Yoruba land. They are hardcore. Um, but yeah, that's one of the things I want to do, 'cause to me, the Odu are so important, understanding them and um just being able to have something to hold on to. I've had to work very hard because I have very non-traditional godparents. I give thanks that they brought me into the tradition, but a lot of the way that they operated was untraditional, and so I've had to just do a lot of work on my own in order to, you know, be able to practice this spiritual tradition. So, this one is asking you to have logic and common sense, and, maybe it's something, the way I'm kinda feeling it right now is there's some decision that you need to make, and yeah, some of it is we gotta feel it in our bodies, but some of it is you need a plan. This Odu is not saying just go willy-nilly. You really do need to be strategic, which is Shango. You need to be strategic and also work with your ancestors. They will support you in whatever this new path is that you're on. So I think that that matches quite a bit of what we were talking about, we're talking about standing at the crossroads and the ego. Oh my gosh, the ego of Shango is very, very rich in the humanness, as Kiki said, of this tradition. And yeah, we gotta check that. That does not bring us into balance with the universe. But practically speaking, I just think that it's important for everyone to be thinking about whatever it is you're supposed to be doing, what's the plan? That's how I'm gonna interpret this for today. Mm. Oh, thank you. Ah, thank you, Kiki. Yeah, it's to me the only way to be. I've very much been supported by you on this journey, always by my side. I learn from the best. Thank you, dear. Oh, thank you. You're such a powerhouse. I love you, minister. Another crossroads, Hecate. And now this, you've gotten me into study Hecate. I am like enthralled with that goddess. Hecate is amazing. Oh, thank you, Yana. Yes, this is a friendly group. That's how we roll. We are loving and we're here for each other. I'm glad you're here. My ancestors are many and know that money has been tight for a long time since the divorce. So they always tell me to be sparing with food offerings, water, and coffee for them. Be sure to feed myself. I'm going to be honest with you, TJ. Money ain't even tight for me, but my ancestors told me the same thing. I'm going to tell y'all, here's a cute little story. Here's a cute little story. When I was 8, I was like, it's somewhere between 8 and 10. Let me say it that way. Um, I was in the bathroom brushing my teeth as a little girl in Mississippi, and I turned the water on, and I just left the water on as I was standing there brushing my teeth. And I heard a voice in my head, "We do not waste water. Turn that water off right now." I was like, "Oh, okay. We don't waste water. Not a problem." And ever since I was a little girl, I've been like, not wasting, no waste. But when I started working with the Orisha and my ancestors, being a part of this tradition, they told me, feed us at daily, but it's the act of feeding us that matters more than anything. And you do not need to be initiated to feed your ancestors. Feed your ancestors if you want to. But yeah, they were just kind of like, it's more of, are you feeding us versus you go months, never feed the ancestors, then you need something, and then it's like, "Oh, let me feed my ancestors." I'm not gonna judge nobody on that, but I'm just telling you, my ancestors were like, "Not you, not you. Feed us daily and just give us a little bit." Okay? So, yep, I get that. Mm, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Oh, Asheo. Mm. Good job. Good job, TJ. Glad the ancestors made him leave. Good. I shall giving thanks to the ancestors. Mm, mm. Yeah, you'll this is one of the things that I do love about going through some type of an initiatory rite because it does help us to begin to really shore up the parts of ourselves that are weak that we need to step more into. I do love, number one with the Ori, working with the Ori, because the Ori can lead, guide, and direct you as to what needs to be done to, say, for instance, help you to, be more confident and to be bigger. And then of course the Orisha are like role models. It's like, which Orisha do I need to work with to be bigger? Oh, Shango. I'm not gonna be just talking about all the Risha. I really don't even I'm gonna be, to a certain degree, expanding myself. I'm just gonna be real with y'all, to go out of my way to learn more about more Orisha. There's the ones that all of us sort of know about and talk about, but I am gonna do that. But I mean, come on, y'all. It's really easy. Shango. Work with Shango, baby. If you need to be bigger, go big or go home, baby. That's Shango. So it's like we begin to wear red and white, and we maybe are listening to a lot of drumming, and maybe doing even a little bit of dance, or go drum if you can go drum somewhere. You begin to do the things that we know that the Orisha do. Light fire. Go, light up the candles, or go to hot, fiery places, any place where there's some fire. But also, you're gonna go to places where people are doing things big. Shango is a leader, so go hanging out with people or studying leaders. And then you begin to model yourself after that, you know? So the Orisha become, to a large extent, who we can they're the beings that we can model ourselves after. We just got to keep this thing in balance. We just got to keep it in balance. Those who are too Shango might need to go hang out with Obatala or Yemonja. Might need to model yourselves after those energies, which are a little bit more serene and toned down. Mhm. Mm. Still looking at comments. 100% Ellen Undal. I She's a queen, and I love her because she's from the diaspora, and but she's so connected to the tradition. To me, that is out of Nigeria. But I don't know, she's the intersection, and her music is just so perfect for my ear. I love her. Mhm. Woohoo! Go on ahead and sweat. Let yourself sweat, Shannon. My ego plays small, not to ruffle feathers, but the way my ancestors are set up, the feathers get ruffled anyway. And I'm forced to stand on my business, protect myself energy. But it's a huge mental task. Yeah. I love you saying your ancestors are like, nah, we gonna be here with you. We gonna be here with you, and folks gonna realize it. So yeah, I love that. I love that. Y'all are just helping me to, it's just really reinforcing the beauty of the teachings of this tradition. That's how we'll say it. The teachings of this tradition. We ain't thinking about the people so much as the teachings. They are here to help us be in balance, because nobody needs to be playing small. I'm very similar, Kiki, to not ruffle feathers. Forget that. Ah, we're not playing small to not ruffle feathers. And that is where we can begin to bring in, more of that balance. Or Shannon, that playing small, knowing that you're really called to something greater. We're wanting to bring in the balance. We're wanting to have that humility, and we're wanting to show up, because the Risha, they're pretty big energies. There's a reason they're deified ancestors, okay? Yes, everybody congratulate Shannon. Mm. Oh, okay. Ah, I love all of y'all's comments. Thank y'all. Oh, hi, Adana. I hope I'm saying it right. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Okay. Um, let's see here. I think that's what I have today. I feel complete on the inside. I feel like I've learned quite a bit from you all, and what you all are looking for, and I've shared a little bit of the Orisha tradition. I think I might, and I'm not the best singer, but I'm just gonna go on ahead and do this because this is the last little bit that I feel like I want to do today. Is just I best know Yemaya songs. I don't know all the songs. Uh, if you join me on this journey, I plan on uh, helping us all learn more of the songs. I know the songs, some of them, but I don't. Yemaya. I'm like, if I'm initiating the Yemaya, I should know her songs first. All right. But let me show y'all this really quickly before I start. So yes, you can go and learn more. I want y'all to join the pre-initiation temple inside of my Mighty Networks. You'll see that as I scan down. Let me just refresh this page real quick. Yeah, so I have a little welcome video here for you all. I've made some recordings where you can begin to learn a little bit about me because I think it's important that you make a decision about, like, am I the teacher for you? It sounds like here, most of you all vibe. Y'all think the way that I think. I'll say it that way. It's the people who want it to be strictly like this very strict way of doing Ifa that I'm not for that person. I'm gonna be giving y'all Ifa, but I'm just not a strict practitioner. And I really want you to have your own practices. But all the recordings, you can get them on, if you want to listen to them via podcast, you can, or if you're here on YouTube, I'm putting them as many places as I can so that you can listen to me share about my journey and just other things that I want to share with you all. But then as you just continue to go down, you can just learn more about why I am doing this. If you go into the pre-initiation temple, the first video that I made inside of there's a young lady who had contacted me and said she and her husband both wanted to get their leques. And I was like, well, it might be one man, but he's going to initiate with someone else. He's going to work with, um, so it's going to be all women because that's who I work with. I don't work with men. And I prefer men to work with men. Yeah, I like my website. I like my website. I took this picture after I became Ifa-Orisha. So underneath that little cap is a bald head. So yeah, it's 3 months and we will there's 6 circles that we're going to do because that's what I call what I do. We work in a circle and it's experiential. It's sort of like what we've done today. Because I want y'all to really I want this to be embodied. I don't want y'all just to have it up here. I want y'all to feel like, yes, I'm truly a part of this tradition. I have experienced it. And so we're gonna have that. I'm gonna have Q&As. So one week will be a circle, another week will be a Q&A. And then I'm gonna have I have a portal where I'm putting teachings inside of. And I'm not going to say this is going to be ready on day one because I am in the midst of creating everything. But essentially, or eventually, I'm going to create this. It's like I want to call it a grimoire, but it's not a grimoire, but it's sort of like that. It's like something that you'll be able to use to journal and maybe put some of your insights in there. And it's going to be very Ifa-Orisha-esque. But yeah, and some of the teachings that I share with you all will be in there. I'm gonna show y'all how to do some of the dances. I don't know all the Orisha, but I do know the 5. I have danced these dances. I know these. I've taken classes. I want y'all to learn some of the songs, and I want you to craft your own practice. You know, I want y'all to craft your own way of having your daily spiritual practice and all of that kind of good stuff. So that's what this page is starting to kind of share with you all. And yeah, more details to come. I know people are like, how much does it cost and stuff like that? That's gonna be put on here maybe by tomorrow. By tomorrow, okay? Okay, so yeah, I'm nervous. I'm gonna do this though. I have my little Yamaya. I don't typically sing with this, so pardon me if it doesn't sound like really good music, but y'all are growing and I'm growing too. I don't even act like I got it all down. So y'all uh just bear with me. Yemanja galona, yemanja galona, yemanja golona, yemanja galona, awarisha kamawayo de yemaja golona, yemaja golona, yemaja golona, yemaja golona, yemaja golona, awarisha kamawayo de yemaja golona, yemaja golona. Yemaja golona, yemaja golona, yemaja golona, awarisha, kamawayo de yemaja golona. So si ni bao yale. So si ni bao yale. Yale yalumao. Yale omi yale ayagba omi o. Agalona o yale. Agalona o yale. Yale yalumao. Yale omi yale ayagba omi yo. Yemonja. Ooh, they are calling me up. Oh my goddess. Did I just sing in front of folks? Whew. Okay. Let's see here. Who is here? Oh, I'm daughter of Yemonja as well. Omoja Yemoja. But she told me to learn the song Oshun by Mise. Help me, Oshun. I love that. Love that. Hi, Catherine Cat Baloo. Greetings, Queen. Ashe, divine energy, celestial earth. It's the only way. Yes, Ashe. I'm so glad you're here, Ekaro. I'm so glad you are here. Yay. Everyone's coming on. Kertia, how are you? Queen, good to see you. Oh, thank you. Ashe, Ashe. Mm. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Oh. Yeah, I don't feel like I have the best voice. I don't have the worst voice, but I don't have the best voice. So I'm always a little bit nervous about that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that divine energy. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kita May. Kita May knows she's encouraging me every step of the way. I'm gonna start calling you coach. Oh, thank you. Thank you, TJ. All right, Queens. Well, I am going to run. Thank you all so much for being here. And yeah, I'm on my way to um, just saying, would you like to join me and become a part of the Orisha tradition, getting your latkes with me? And I'm going to be opening the doors, and you're welcome to come in if this sounds like it is for you. I really do think that there's a call that people hear. And that's what it was for me. It was truly a call. I just kept hearing, what was the religion of my ancestors? And people would say, what difference does it make? And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like I need to know. And that's when I found Ifa, the Orisha tradition. And I have not regretted one day, even with all the chaos of the humanness of this tradition, the tradition itself, the wisdom itself, being a part of this beautiful path. I've never, ever regretted it. And I know there are so many people who want to become a part of this tradition. And if I am meant to be the one who brings you in here, come on in. That's why I'm doing it. I'm really doing it because I want other people to have the same experience as me, to be here and to have this healing tradition and to have their lives infused with it. All right. So, yes, yes. Returning to our origins unlocks codes in our DNA. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. TJ, you always you always get me. You're so good with those words. This is my first time here. I was actually looking for meditations and found you here. Oh, yay. I'm so excited to hear that divine energy. Y'all, welcome, divine energy, celestial earth. Welcome. Glad you're here. It's so nice to have new sisters here. Welcome. Glad you are here. And yeah, I do have some meditations on my channel. Thank you, Shannon. We do what is called stitching in and stitching out. So what are you stitching out with? It's what are you taking from the circle? Oh my gosh, today I'm taking wholeness. I'm Tyra and I'm stitching out with wholeness. I'm stitching out with sisterhood. I've been so nervous about this. I just said, you know what? If nobody decides they want to get on this journey with me, it's okay. Because this has been worth it. Sitting down and looking at this tradition again, just for me, it has felt so, so good and healing. And to have the kind of conversation that we've had today, I know I'm on the right path. I know I'm on the right path. So what are you stitching out with today? We just want to give thanks to we give thanks to my Ori, your Ori, just everybody's Ori, higher self, for bringing us together today and allowing us to receive some type of wisdom, some type of encouragement, some support that we can take with us into our lives. Remember, the Odu is Iro soon. We're asking you, Eshua Legua, to keep the channels of communication open so that we can continue to hear what is it that we need to do to apply this particular Odu. We just give thanks to all of the Orisha, all of our ancestors that are here to lead, guide, direct, and support us along the way. I honor the great mother goddess and my guides, the ancient mothers, for leading, guiding, and directing me in all ways. And we just say thank you. Adupwe or Modupwe. Modupwe means we thank you. Adupwe means I thank you. Modupwe, Modupwe, Modupwe. Adupwe, 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 Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Okay, let's see here. I am Keandra or Keandra. I think it's Keandra. And I'm stitching out with enlightenment and courage. Yay. Welcome again, Kiki. I am Ocean Kimmy, and I'm stitching out with empowerment. And just send me an email. You can go to my website, goddessbodymindspirit.com. Hold on, I'll just go over here and pull that up, and you can let me know what you are working on. Here's just to the main page of the website. Scroll down at the bottom, and you'll see my email address. Make sure when you send me the email, you let me know that you're divine energy from the YouTube channel, because people send me stuff all the time, and I'm like, who is this? I'm Keita May, and I'm stitching out with medicine and obedience. Asheo. Just bliss. Give thanks. Much gratitude. Asheo. Crossing this path is no coincidence. No, it's not. I tell anybody, if you find me and you're kind of like, oh, Tyra, I'm kind of vibing Tyra. No coincidences. I'm TJ, and I'm stitching out with hope and ancient remedy. Ooh, I love that. Keandra. Yes, it's very important because my name looks like Tara, but it's pronounced Tyra. So I try to get names right. I'm Catherine, and I'm stitching out with continual healing. Oh, Catherine. Okay. Sending you so much love. I'm Mystic Storm, stitching out with empowerment. Thanks, Ia. You are so welcome, Queen. Give thanks. Yes. Tyra, I will be sending you a text later. Love and hugs. Okay, sounds good, sister. Let's just take it out with a little bit of music. I'll be looking for any other comments. Feel free to make comments if you want to. But yeah, we'll go back to that music because that is nice music that I had, and it's nice. So y'all be hearing from me again very soon, before next Wednesday. Okay, love y'all. I don't know if I'm on beat. Sometimes the music comes through one way. Let me not do that. Asheo. That was a little Orisha. I am Celestial Earth of Oshun. I'm sticking out with energetic alchemy with the cosmos. Asheo. Thank you, Zach. Love and light to you all. I'm gonna head out. Asheo. Music is, woo, got me. Asheo, we give thanks to the Orisha, to the ancestors. We bless our Ori.